The path you take, my darling child, is a divinely planned procession toward your ultimate goal, rather than a chance series of circumstances. Remember that the fire you experience is intended to cleanse you, rather than to devour you. At these times, when hardships are weighing heavy on your soul, every hardship you face shapes your character and fortifies your faith, just as gold is purified in a furnace. It could feel like the heat is too much. Doubts might threaten to put out the light of hope in your heart by swirling around it like coals. Rest assured, however, since every glimmer of hardship serves as a springboard for a closer relationship with me, you find underlying impurities, pride, fear, and impatience that need to be eliminated in order for your faith to shine with truer brightness. When you give into the flame instead of fighting it, type 111 if you are ready to welcome God's miracles into your life. Let me accompany you through this flames. Feel the warmth of my love as you lean into my presence. It will keep you going, even when the flames are roaring the loudest. I am the divine potter at work, slowly spinning the wheel and molding you with each revolution. I am not far away. Every tear you shed nourishes the soul of your spirit and plants the seeds of tenacity and faith. Therefore, your tears are not in vain. You often wonder what's causing your suffering. You look for purpose in situations that seem pointless, but be certain that I have never allowed a trial to go aimlessly. Every obstacle you face is a thread in your life's tapestry, telling a tale of perseverance, discovery, and redemption. Adversity's winds have the power to bend you. However, if your roots are deeply ingrained in my love, they cannot shatter you. Have faith that there is a spiritual purpose behind every detour. Hidden gems may be found behind locked doors, and lessons in humility, compassion, and unflinching hope can be learned in shadowy valleys. If you believe in miracles, type 222 and forward this video to 7 people who need faith. Think back on your previous seasons. Think back to times when what you thought was a loss turned out to be your biggest advantage. Unexpected mercies and fresh discoveries were made possible by those locked doors. The hand calling you toward light is the same hand that guided you into the dark. You could feel insignificant and helpless in comparison to the severity of your problems. However, my vulnerability makes my power great. I take over and raise you on my graceful wings when your strength fails. I pour forth my power into your tired spirit when you are most vulnerable. Do not hate the emptiness you experience sometimes, because it is the soil where my sufficiency grows. You start depending entirely on me. When you stop trying to do things on your own, this reliance turns weakness into witness. evidence of my transforming power at work in you. Type 333. If you feel God's presence in your life every day, practice surrender. Give me your uncertainties, weaknesses, and anxieties. Accept the cloak of my power and return, which is fashioned with peace guarding strands. Let your witness proclaim to everyone who will listen that my grace heals all wounds, rising from the altar of your brokenness like incense. There is a shelf life for each experiment. Even if the anguish we are experiencing now seems to go on forever, it is just a moment in time. Raise your gaze above the horizon of your suffering and focus it on the possibility of recovery. Hope is a solid anchor for the soul. Rather than a transient feeling, it transcends reality rather than denies it, clinging to the belief that my purposes for you are good rather than malevolent. Your journey is fueled by optimism, which dispels fatigue and replenishes your strength. If you believe in God's promises, type 444 and share this video to inspire others. Sing the melodies of your ancestors. During the darkest times, they were the ones who testified to my faithfulness. Against overwhelming odds, their tales reverberate through the ages, serving as a reminder that you too will triumph, your soul polished yet untarnished. Faith starts out as a tiny, almost undetectable mustard seed. However, when it is planted in the soil of my promises, it thrives and overcomes once insurmountable barriers. Address the mountains in your life: doubt, discouragement, and fear, and give them the order to be thrown into the sea. Belief is expressed by statements of truth. Perspective is altered by proclamation. By saying, "I believe," you are bringing your heart into line with my infallible word. When you speak in unison with me, the earth itself bends to the sound of my voice, causing mountains to submit before such confidence. Remain steadfast on the foundation of my promises. You will remain unfazed by the possibility of storms. Allow your faith to be the lighthouse that leads you through the storm and into the stillness beyond. Type 555 if you are ready to receive God's peace today. Faith and endurance go hand in hand. The race that lies ahead of you is a marathon, not a sprint, and it calls for steely determination and a fixed focus on the finish line. Don't become tired or lose heart. Remember your starting point with each step. Before hardship struck, remember the call that was put upon your life and the aspirations that were communicated to your soul. These serve as reminders that your efforts are not in vain and are the emblems of my promise. I'm here to help you get back up when you fall. I'm here to comfort you when worries arise. Continue with assurance because I have promised that each instant of persistence will irrigate the ground that will yield your breakthrough. Restoration follows the trial. A season of fruitfulness follows the period of pruning and refining. I provide fresh life where there are ashes. I design regeneration in the ruins. Type 666. If you believe God is with you in every moment, seek for indications of restoration in your life, such as a resurgence of your passion, a greater understanding of people, and a more distinct understanding of your mission. These are the results of your perseverance during the winter. Be receptive to how I may reveal my spirit in unexpected ways. Revival flows whatever I want it to, like a soft wind or a heavy rainstorm. If you open your heart to accept, you will see miracles emerge where hopelessness previously reigned. Lastly, remember that for those who love me and are called in accordance with my purpose, everything works out for the best. Your present difficulties are but a prelude to the revealing of my grandeur in your life. Get ready to stand in the midst of all that splendor. Even in the dark, cultivate a spirit of worship, because it brings me in and unites your soul with the song of heaven. With great anticipation, await the revelation of my intentions. They are as certain as the rising sun, although not being seen. They are coming, your deliverance, your breakthrough, your exaltation. Type 777 if you believe in God's wisdom. Have courage, dear youngster. Allow my hand to guide you as you go through various phases of your life. My grace is your ever-present companion in flood and fire, in strength and weakness, in despair and joy. You have already written the account of your victory in the corridors of heaven, so go with confidence. Please subscribe to support our channel and turn on bell notification.